Welcome back to another episode of Level Up Lounge. We're going to be discussing refined games, as in sequels that get refined because the first initial game are usually a test, or they just
Double down.
level down and turn to garbage.
Dude
There's,
noodle.
there. We'll go into detail on games that have increasingly been better and games that have increasingly gotten worse. um, Now, starting off, what makes a refined sequel game? What do you think? What do you think that does it have to fix bugs on previous games, or do you think a refined
Keeping
game
improvement.
it just yeah,
That's
and it's the answer is to have improvement in any any aspect of the game, visually, um, uh,
mechanics, the
mechanics,
story.
yeah, everything.
Good example, I use it a lot, is Witcher 1 to Witcher 2. Perfect
Well,
example
one to
of,
three. I mean, really,
well, even doing that,
yeah.
I'm just saying, just from one game to another, there's a huge difference with what they had. They took what they had for the base and they just upgraded it consistently. And a lot. The word apparently.
Consistently,
Yes, that word.
not inconsistently. Consistently. Yeah, I put other examples. I didn't put Witcher on here, but I really think like games like The Witcher that only has three games out right now, um, and the fourth one coming out hopefully next year, right? The next year, we don't even know.
It's either
Um,
next year or a year after that. Oh,
that's one of the biggest games I know that have drastically improved between each every sequel. Um, Not just, mechanics is the biggest thing that like progressed the best. The stories have increased, the quality. Um,
and take to what feedback of the consumers or fans or whatever you want to call them. Take the feedback of any shape and form, look into it, and improve. If you don't do that, sadly, a good example of ones that didn't listen or whatever, did whatever they wanted, and it just fell out of existence. Which I was watching a little bit today of talks were Battlefield. It was neck and neck Call of Duty, and then well, he kind of kept going up or staying where it was while Battlefield kept shrinking, and now it's
it's literally and
almost forgotten.
if it's dang near for almost forgotten it, and also they're at a point where they have to start from the ground up again, which really sucks. Because to me, it was improving Battlefield 1, 2, and 3. And 4 was kind of like they didn't really improve. They like refined 3, really. It was a refined version of 3. But when the others came out, it to me was like there was no refining of anything, no fine tweaks, no it looked graphically the same to me, and the gameplay felt just meh, which is like Call of Duty. Call of Duty right now is just a meh thing.
Yeah,
There is
just
a mouse in here. Get out of here. I already murdered one.
yeah, I got one earlier. Yeah, like nest somewhere.
Um,
But yeah, no, that's
Another one that I didn't even put on this list is Mass Effect. Mass Effect improved until after 3 they released Andromeda, and then Andromeda like tanked. People
yeah.
just did not like that game. But there's a tiny little group of people that do enjoy that game. Um, and
No, it
also
was.
there's like sadly there's the company never put out fixes to make the game better. It was more the mod. the people who mod games made the game better.
Yeah. I said one right now is on the teeter totter, and we'll hopefully see it next game. That hopefully it's better. Is the Dragon Ages. One was good, two was meh, three was good, and then
3 was Inquisition, right?
yep,
Yeah, Inquisition was like top tier.
and then four came out, and some people like it, but it's the dynamics of the story just kind of ruined it all.
Yeah, it just did to me when I
Nope,
know I didn't play it. I just watched a streamer play it, and it
that's
was
what I did.
I uh I
I
didn't get Dragon Age feeling from it at all.
No, they put more realistic issues into play, which I have no problem with, but the problem
But like
is
the
forcing it.
drama between character and companion stuff.
They forced it in,
Oh,
and that's one of the biggest. I've seen other reviews too. That was one of the biggest thing was them forcing that. It's like, okay, have it in awesome, but don't make it where it's a forced thing. Because yes, for those groups, I get other games you're forced to do other things. That's just how it, especially if it's set like that. That's how it is. Dragon Age was never set like that, not even from day one.
yeah, it's not like
So
it's not
changing it, that's a massive change, and
it's not like Fallout with their companions. But Fallout with their companions in making story lines between that works for Fallout. It doesn't really work for Dragon Age at
yeah.
all.
I said it's just more of the force dynamics on it. That's what
It's like if
hurt
Skyrim did that. I don't think anybody would like that either.
it.
Skyrim is just a non. It's just a almost. It's at a point where it's like a walking simulator. Walking simulator with like the adventureness and dragons and
Yeah,
yeah. Um, those are just a little taste of little refined and then non refined games. There's a thousand that we can talk about. But what is something that you wanted from a game that you wanted from a sequel? So like, what do you wanted that was refined in that game for its sequels? So I guess here's an example. Like
yeah. You give an example. I sit here and think for a second.
example would be like Gears of War. Gears of War One, great dark story game, and it had the entry level of the multiplayer. When Gears of War Two came out, it continued the story great, but the multiplayer improved in certain aspects, as in the movement and like the movement really was the only thing. Now gunplay, freaking glitches all the time, glitching that you don't even have a weapon. That was annoying. It probably had worst the worst maps of Gears of War. But then when Gears of War 3, they you can tell that they really studied 1 and 2, and they were like, we can't have this glitch gun not coming to a character when you spawn in multiplayer. That won't fly. And then the movement, they're like, man, we really like the movement too. But then we like the gunplay in 1, and then they were like, man, we like these new weapons that we just created, but we've got to make it flow. But then they were like, we need certain maps to flow certain ways for like if you're sniping or if it's going to be uh, a shotgun battle in a bunker area or something. Like they drastically improved in the graphically, it improved better and better. I mean, it's not like one of those 10-year in between things, It was more like every few years. So like they refined each and everything each time, but also declined in certain ways. But when they put out like 3, that's just like a masterpiece. It's the best Gears of War of everything.
Just gotta try them because I remember playing one, maybe two, so long ago. I don't. learned the characters a little bit, but that's about it on that.
And I mean, don't give me crap like 4 and 5 or the multiplayer. It's just alright. I mean, I played a lot of 4, 5. Just I don't know. Just you can tell it was just a sloppy multiplayer. They put a lot of slop in it on top of 3. They just it was a muddy mess. Like they didn't want to fine tune anything or do anything like that. Um, but for 4, I think it was a little bit better on everything all around. It was better, but I mean, it continued the story, a story that really nobody really wanted. They probably, if they made it like a free to play multiplayer and sunk in money pits of some sort, like transactions of some sort, I think a
Yeah,
lot of people would invest into that more than anything. Um, but we're here to hope that Gears of War E Day becomes a masterpiece and brings us out of the hole of Gears of War. But only time will tell. Hopefully, we see something more later this year or beginning next year.
I look at my games where we're trying to get an idea. And I say
I mean,
I
did
can't.
has Bioshock improved in their sequels?
For the most part, the only thing I would say on with that would be if it would have kept the dark creepiness from 1 and 2 into Infinite, would have been nice just because that's how it was. But going with how they did the story and how they made that work, there was a lot of dark into it. Just didn't have that dark atmosphere.
I gotcha.
So the scenery wasn't there, but the story was. So at least it kind of counteracted each other.
So yeah, so it like just like Gears of War. It find like story was there, but like multiplayer sucked into one was it was a good foundation.
Yeah,
Then 3 was just like bam. You had 1 and 2 that were just like top notch, and then Infinite was like you didn't have this the tone that you wanted, but the story was there. It brought everything around. It made
yeah,
sense, which is it makes it. I mean, we could have like Resident Evil, and just like none of them like intertwined with each other and didn't make any sense. And then now we're finally getting the remakes that they're trying to like intertwine that umbrella and all these other characters know where they're like
where they are in the
where they
connection.
are and there's somewhat connection here and there, which is cool. I've I've only played Metal Gear Solid 3. That's the only one I think I've ever played, but I never like finished it. So I can't I can tell you that they're good and I haven't heard anybody complain about it.
Yeah, I
And
would
I
have
think
to
2 to
play them again.
3 I think are I don't think there's really anything refined there. I think it's just they were just good, I guess. I
Yeah,
mean,
for the most part, I just kept. They had a good mojo with it, and just going into the next one with Metal Gear, their story stayed good, and it kept with what Metal Gear how they presented it at the start. It kept with it for the most part. So
oh, so okay, so they
because it does have a military background with this story and a little bit in it. So, but I'm very out of touch with it. I haven't played it in a while, like you said, with you, and I
God, I
played
don't
two
even.
and three,
Yeah.
which two is a fan favorite.
Um,
So,
reason bring up this topic is because Death Stranding. I was listening to another streamer talk about Death Stranding one. Is It's a great game, and then some things that they refined uh in Death Stranding 2, like the combat or like it's a walking simulator, so they fine tune the walkiness of it, the visuals, and then like continue the story
but
of
the
the
downside
main
I've heard
guy.
about it so far is it's like I haven't played either. The, the same things are being talked about that happened with Death Stranding one. You get about halfway through, you don't want to do everything, and then you get to where you're like, okay, I want to know how the story ends. I'm just going to push past everything else and just go straight to the end.
Yeah,
That's
but I feel like I'm like that with like all of my games. Like I'm like, oh man, this is fun. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then I'm like, okay, I get that one little the little taste of the story. I'm like, I gotta know more. I gotta know more.
Yeah, but they could work to intertwine it with all the other stuff, just little bits. They don't have to have where, oh, major dump on this part or whatever. No, just doing this, they talk about more of whatever subject or whatever, or you
Yeah,
kind of
that's what I
know,
think that's one thing all games should refine in is that putting so much side questing, or if you do put side questing,
mix it with the
somehow
story.
mix it with the main story. Like just like a teaser of some sort. Like, I don't know, you're playing Final Fantasy VII Remake or something, and you're like trying to get certain materia, and then you're getting like flashbacks of being back as a soldier, or something.
Yeah.
Or it leads up to Sephiroth, or I don't know.
Well,
Maybe they did do it in Final Fantasy VII Intergrade. I don't know. Um, but like, what's sad is Death Stranding 1 released on PS4. Death Stranding 2 released on PS5. Do you think we're like kind of like at a point where these refined games or sequels are only wanting to be made on the next gen? So like Horizon Zero Dawn was on PS4, and then the fifth one got released on PS5, or the next sequel got released on PS5. Do you think we're like at a point where companies are holding out for the next hardware of like a major title they made on like the PS5? Let's just say like Ghost of Yote that comes out in September and it releases on PS5. The next Ghost game, do you think it will come out on PS5 6 or PS6?
it's just, it's all dependent on money. That's what drives them pretty much in their for people is what's going to give them the best dollar, and they'll have an insight from Sony. For just a good example, since we're just saying Sony, good example of them saying, "Oh, next console come out," and as a small little tidbit to them, but under hush hush, obviously NDAs and all that, that they'll do whatever and try to make it where it comes out on the newer system because, well, they know that's going to be a more bought thing. If it doesn't sell as well, then they'll go back to the second, the current generation or whatnot. Like they made a bunch of stuff still for PS4 because many people for a while couldn't get their hands on a 5. So if they would have kept going everything with the 5, they would be starting to lose a lot of money because, well, no one's buying it because, well, no one has the console.
That is true. That's I feel like I have this jot down further down, but yeah, like right here, like I remember all these games I've listed
Mm-hmm.
would release on like the same console for the next what handful of years.
You know,
So like Gears of War was always on 360.
the problem with that is they weren't having consoles made, a new console made every year to 5 years range, or having a same console but more upgraded with space and all that. You had pretty much a PS2 or a 360 or a regular Xbox, whatever, for 10, 15 years.
I think that's our problem. I think us as consumers or gamers, certain ones, I feel like they they feel like they're falling behind in tech is a big problem. So when they feel like they're falling behind, they want to just go ahead and start making on a new console. So like if a new next year we'll get like the 60 series cards for Nvidia, and they're like, "Oh man, we're already behind. We got to start making the Xbox Series 2 or whatever for the PS6." I feel like we need to push the current gen hardware for consoles or even PCs to the limit and make as many games as we can. Because me, I'm a person I'd rather have more sequels for games for Final Fantasy or Gears of War or Bioshock, or Bioshock's pretty much done, and if they do, it's like they should need to just make a whole new Bioshock story, I guess. But like Resident Evil, I've pushed the limits to the series of consoles, the current series of consoles,
And
because then it gives it an opportunity for the consumer to buy that console they've been saving up for that whole year or
yeah,
whatever. I remember whenever I was playing, I was just borrowing a 360 from someone, and it was the first version, the arcade, and
yeah,
then eventually, like I'm telling you, it was like a year later until I got my own 360, and that was when the 360 Slim came out, and that was a huge leap from that to that. When they had that console for a long time,
oh yeah,
so it's like I guess I'm a person that I want more money, more bang for your buck, and have a console that everybody can live up to or get at the same time as others, and be less behind than
yeah.
what we are now. Like, being shoot, we don't have a PlayStation 5, and
Already talking.
I still you see that my son was playing a Sonic game on the PS4.
I mean, they're already talking about doing the PS6 already, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You
like
haven't given time for this console to have a life. Let it have a life. It's not a PC.
I know, like with Sex's PCs, like you can fall behind so fast in PCs. It's
Yeah, but
ridiculous.
you can make them last for 10 years with what you have. I did it. Perfect example. Yes, some games nowadays sucked,
Yeah,
but
it sucks so bad.
I made it work so I could still play. Yes, I had to dumb everything down to the lowest possible thing and all that.
But some of those games then, well, you knew your capability of your game, the game that you're playing, so you knew to, let's say for example, you wanted to play Cyberpunk, and you knew you were like, oh, it's gonna be pushing my limit of my PC. So you just, luckily we can fine tune the graphics on games on PC, and make them like lowest settings. Some of them on low settings can look way better than a console.
There you go.
But like I don't know, we're just lucky if we're getting one game on like a series. Like if we started a new series of a game called, I don't know, a whole, let's say the Wolverine game, we'll get that at the end of the PS5 life if we're lucky. Or if they just say, we'll just wait until PlayStation 6 until we release that Wolverine game that we were talking about, and then
5 years ago.
we'll make the Spider-Man game, and then you'll get the next Wolverine game at PS7. It's like, no, just make. I feel like we should keep making games on the previous gen and make sure it functions well. So like the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, you can buy it for PS4 and PS5. The Spider-Man 2 game, I'm pretty sure that was only PS5. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. Um, it's just, hmm, I feel like we should always backdate by one console. I remember we used to do that. I don't think we even do that much anymore.
Spider-Man 2, which does it have more to its name?
It's
It wants to bring out fucking.
just type in like,
Because there was a 2004 Spider-Man 2 that came out.
no, it's the Marvel's Spider-Man or whatever. Marvel Spider-Man 2, I guess.
The Spider-Man 2, it might be in PS4 because it's on. You can get it on Steam or it's on PC right now. Just released on January 30th for oh no, okay, on PS4.
Nope, not on PS4. So Spider-Man 2 is,
Steam and PS5.
which is fine, I guess. But I feel like that should be able. Oh no, that Spider-Man's a whole nother deal. You can't you can't have him on Xbox like you used to. Um, Pretty much summed up the next question, whatever. Why aren't we squeezing and putting everything into a platform? Like, sheesh. I feel like
because they're just not extending the lifetime of a console. That's all it is.
everybody just sucks. Everybody doesn't want to put the time and effort and maximizing the player base. Like,
Yep.
I feel like even if you're making a game for PS5, let's just say Call of Duty Black Ops 6, that game should come out on PS4 as well. And it should be crossplay amongst all platforms, which I think it did. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know anything like that. This is honestly a topic that I'm not sure what games have been released on previous gens because it would be nice understanding to see they are trying to keep some games or main title games on
Yeah,
previous
you can
gens.
play on PS4.
See, look, I mean that's good. It's a Call of Duty game. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like you should do that for your first party single player games, like God of War Ragnarok. I wonder if you can do that on PS4.
I'm not picking my phone up again. I did.
Come on,
Uh,
you don't have to. I was just
I know.
joshing you. Um, I feel like now we talked about all that. I feel like making a new console is an excuse just to
It should be
make a
played on
better.
PS4.
Oh, look at that. That's actually cool. That's good. I f- I feel like companies making new consoles is just an excuse so they can make their next bigger quality of a game and not utilizing um,
Why not?
their current console like a PS5 and they know they're already working on a PS6. They should honestly just make the game for PS5 and then you already know it should perform on your bigger next console release because it's it's better. So it should automatically play better. I mean, it's you don't need to think about it too hard on that.
They just sadly with a lot of things, and it's just not just with games, it's with just everything in life. It's all about that dollar. Even if it's a few cents more, they'll go for it. Just because in the end game it'll be a bigger payout instead of just utilizing both or anything like that. Because I can see once Sony makes their next console, PS4, pretty much they're not going to get much more.
Oh no, it will be the Xbox 360. Um, then the I mean I think the only company that has squeezed the daylights out of their console has been Nintendo.
Especially because they got like what 4 major games titles.
What?
I'm not talking. I'm talking about a strictly Nintendo that won't branch out. They don't have many things wherever that they have to work around too much.
Their
But
console, okay, their console in general. Have you seen a Pokemon game perform on it? It has been performed poorly, and it would run, but all their games would run better. But the small form factor of a portable console, having those kind of big, extensive games like Zelda, Pokemon games, it's actually a miracle how well it does work.
yes, but with them branching out and letting other companies bring their games in for, like we've talked about for Cyberpunk, I can see them starting to do a lot more consoles or everything because bringing that all that new technology in, harder graphics, which they're going to have to constantly keep upgrading it to keep up with like what Sony and Xbox have to do.
I mean,
Well,
Xbox
technically, don't.
probably care less
Well,
on
they don't
this.
have to keep up with it, but they're going to keep the higher quality stuff to come out. So to do that, got to upgrade. To upgrade, got to have new ones released.
Well,
So
no, I don't. I think you're misunderstanding. They pushed the the life expectancy of the Nintendo Switch from release date from Switch 2 versus the PS4 to the PS5.
that,
This
yes,
that's what I'm saying. Nintendo squeezed as much as they could out of the life of the Switch than like Xbox or Sony,
yeah.
because I mean I feel like you got more bang for your buck at that point versus you buying a PS4 and like, oh boom, I just bought this and the PS5 just comes out next week.
Yeah, the question is how well are they going to be able to do that again, or
Yeah, that's the one thing I wonder
that's why I'm saying what I
how.
was talking about was I don't see it being in the past. Yes, because it was
Well,
17 at the Switch was released. Now it's 25. The Switch 2 came out. That's what, five, 6,
$8.
9 years.
You
Well,
said
no, well,
17, and
yeah, depending on where the month is, so 8 to 9.
I think
Good.
it will be less than 8, because then Switch come out in like the holiday season or close to it.
March 3rd of
Okay, so
2017.
it was like 8 years, basically just a
So
little over 8 years.
yeah, so it was out for a good portion. And they do that with the Switch 2, though. We're bringing all this other stuff in.
I
That's
mean,
gonna that's gonna push their stuff.
oh, I think, well, it's hard because all the stuff we're talking about, it's been affected by COVID, and they had to push the life expectancy of some of the consoles. So like, uh, but like the Xbox One X, I think is the one they, or Xbox. What, there was a certain Xbox that they had to like prolong, and just made it slightly better in some little ways, just to get more money. But then like the PS4, that I think its life expectancy was a little bit longer than people anticipated because of COVID, and then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make these new consoles, Xbox Series S or X, and then the PS5,
And
and
then
then
became a factory.
and
Pump
then
it out, pump it out.
well, couldn't pump it out. When they did pump it out, it was already bought up, or it was COVID. People were staying home, so they were already on top of buying the new console and stuff. So it was really hard for, I just, especially the release of those kind of consoles and stuff. I feel like you should prolong
At least
making
give it
things for this
at
current
least give
gen.
it 5 years. At least. Minimum.
Yeah, that's what it used to be. Like every 5 years we would get something, and you would squeeze the daylights out of that. You would get like every of the best Call of Duty game over on like the 360. And now it's like every year Call of Duty game garbage
Yeah. As I
for the next.
I can say Nintendo definitely is the last one to push it. I don't I don't see them being doing that anymore,
I
at
don't,
least for
yeah,
that long.
I don't see any of them doing that for long. It'll be like every what 3 years we'll be hearing about the new console. Like Nintendo would now Nintendo I don't think has a problem. They'll be able to utilize all the hardware, all the tech to make the next Switch, or even if they want to keep making the Switch and it does both factors, but then they make I mean a beefy console.
They tried that. Remember the Wii U?
No, that was a test for the Switch.
Yes, and that is the most running joke I hear everybody calling that. And some people's like, don't even say that word. That's a
The
blasphemy.
the last console I think that Nintendo made that was the best was the Wii.
Actually, I had a lot of people for that. Sadly, they didn't have much go for it, but that was good for
It was a
families.
it was a well, Nintendo, I feel like every their main consoles was about family or party play.
Yeah, it was something
The
that came together.
64, the GameCube, the Wii.
I think the GameCube was the last real big one for
Which
that.
is crazy. Like the think of it, they did consoles and they did handhelds. That then now it's like a handheld slash console.
Hell, the fucking size of their discs for a GameCube. Fucking,
Little tiny. It was like a little,
it's like a little bagel.
yeah,
Bagel
it's like
bites.
a little bagel bite.
About the size of those damn things. And somehow it did everything what.
And what's cool is you can put the GameCube games in the Wii.
I never knew that until a little back ago. That I'm like, oh, wow.
And you can plug your GameCube controllers in the Wii.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah.
That was see that was another extraordinary console ahead of its time. And same goes for the PSP. Um, PS2 man was ahead of its time because you could that was like you could play online. I
I
mean,
didn't know that until like 10 years later. I'm like, wow, did not know that.
well, just like the Dreamcast, you had a Fantasy Star Online. You can play online on the Dreamcast.
I enjoy that game. I despise that console. Fuck Dreamcast. I don't care. Fuck Dreamcast. I hate
Uh,
that console.
I don't know, I didn't ever own one. I had a friend that did, but I wasn't a fan of it. My N64 was the shit.
It's fine. Just don't play a fighting game on it.
Um,
It learns your shit, and it's like, God damn you, I hate you.
that is
That was the fun, but the terrible thing about it.
I found the reason why he doesn't want to do fighting games because he thinks the computer is
No,
just against him. It's out to get him.
well, that too, but no, I suck at fighting games. I
And
am terrible.
you think I'm good. Every time I talk about fighting games, you're like, you think I'm like some mysterious god at a fighting game. Dude, I'm garbage.
Yeah, I've never been good.
I bet you if I played a
So
fighting game again with my dad, he'd still kick my ass. And he doesn't even know what's going on in the video game in this day and age.
You always have to hit certain buttons. And I'm just like, I'm just button pressing. I don't care.
Well, I mean, that's to me, just like every game, it's fun. When it's a fighting game, I like learning those combos. And then there's another streamer that is just like the big head of fighting games. You probably know who I'm talking about. But like he likes to learn like one of the like longest um fighting moves, like the deal a multiple hits or whatever. And
Like the 10 button hits and all that
yeah,
shit.
he tries to get the best combo and everything, but
Fuck that.
he doesn't do it online straight up. He spends hours on offline against just an AI character. Then he goes online.
Yeah, and then he pisses everybody off. It's like, God
No,
damn.
he's not the. Just to let you know, he's not
Oh, I'm not saying he's
the
not.
best.
But I'm saying it's just doing it. It's like, God damn it. Let me hit the ground already.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's
I've seen
just
people do continuous combo where they're just constantly doing it, and the person is like, I just no point in me even playing because I can't hit the ground and reset.
yeah. At that point, I do just stop touching buttons. I'm like, I look at my friend, whoever I'm playing against. I'm like, all right, I get it. You beat me in one long 20 combo hit.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Um, now
I already touched that one, so my
what
little,
I did? Do you
yeah,
think?
squeezing left.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
We've hit that multiple times through this whole thing.
Well, this episode's really about. I feel like not refining games, just squeezing the daylights out of lemons in your eyeballs.
No, it's not even just hardware, it's even games. Just
It,
doing it to series, make it good, continue it on, at least make a sequel, make a trio of the game. Usually,
I mean, it's like
most
Final
people do
Fantasy,
three.
another good example. I feel like they refined it in tiny little bits. Like the stories are all different stories, but like they kept they refined certain things, but then there's some things that they tried to do. Some people say it failed. Some people disliked it. Some people really love it.
Yeah, and then
And
it takes back to the drawing board and try it later on.
but then they bring it back and people are like, this is the greatest game ever. And then there's people in the back, they're like, I've been telling you this past 4 Final Fantasy games, this is amazing then. And then they bring it back now and everybody's on the bandwagon.
that, or they.
What was it? What was it? 13 and 15?
And so we talked about this last episode, and it was about that, and it's a lot of people hate how the 13.3 went with the turn base, or 15 got a lot more refined, but yet they love 12, which is what the start of all that was trying to do, was do a turn base in a
12
way.
is 12, you're right.
And to me, I hated it. I despised it. I can't stand playing 12 because I hate how the mechanics are. But then you go 13. I enjoyed how they changed it around and make it work better. And then 15, they refined it more, where it's a norm to it now. It's part of the series.
I feel like it's those certain cluster of games that they knew they were wanting to do it for those games, and they refined it each time. So 12, 13, and 15. Then you had like um obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I feel like 7, 8, and then 9 are those clusters that they refine those sections.
Yep.
And it's not even just like the mechanics of the game. It's funny. Music's the big thing for me.
Yeah.
7 and 8, you can tell that they refined the main level up song, or the experience song, or the after you beat a monster, like that little tune. 7 had like the bass line, but then 8 had the bass line plus a little tiny extra, just like a little cherry on the top. And I love it. And people are gonna just look at me like 8 disrespected the song. I'm like, nah, they made it just a little bit better.
And everybody knows it came from 7 or 8. That's what started it.
Yeah, and I did notice. I noticed that song. I don't know how it came across TikTok, but I saw gameplay. It's like 2 seconds of gameplay of like 10 or 10-2 of that level, like that music song kicked in. I was like, I can't listen to it because I don't want to be like teased about it. I don't want to know anything. I want to go in there like not knowing anything really, until I get completely lost and I have to look a guide and direct me. Which after I feel like after 7, 8, it gotten easier to just do your own thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of, I'm pretty much probably all the Final Fantasy games, like made it easier to stay on track of the main point, main story.
Direct you from to from the spot to the directed point.
Your end point, your whatever you know, your start and end point.
Yeah.
Like most games now give you this like yellow diamond. This is your destination. Swing to it.
Or it could be Dark Souls that drops you in a dungeon.
Oh, and you're completely fucked.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, have fun. Meet you at the end. Where the fuck do I go?
What's funny is that reminds me of someone. Funny enough, this person in a Tarkov stream that I watch, and he was like, "I'm gonna give Tarkov a shot too." He jumped in PvE. The first thing he did was press M for map. There's no map in Tarkov. There is maps in Tarkov, but they're terrible. But
yeah, I've
he
done
was
that
like,
a few times.
I pressed M on my map. It never pulled up. There's no map in Tarkov. And I'm like, I ain't got a clue where the guy I am. And then later on, he's like, yeah, I was walking around. I was on a cliff. And I fell off of it and completely just shattered my body and I died. I'm like, yeah, welcome to Tarkov.
And I said, and I can't blame him because when we went back over to it, and I was sitting there like, wait, oh shit, yeah, there's no map. Fuck.
And yeah,
I do it in Minecraft all the time too. Whenever I go back and play, because there's ones that have it and ones that don't. You're like, oh wait, this is regular, don't have it.
yeah, regular, just vanilla, don't have it. What's funny is if I did go back to vanilla, I would be like, this is
map?
Yeah, where's everything that I learned?
A map. A map.
um
No.
well, so if you could pick any single game, see, I'm not doing the whole last thing. It's a completely different thing. We're not completely similar. If you could pick like one or just a single game. Let's just say a single game that you endure, that you like, that you think they could do a sequel. What would you reform from that game to make the next one better? So, like, me, Ghost of Tsushima, love the game. They already announced it. I don't know nothing about it because I never watched the deep dive thing that they released a week
Yeah.
ago. I already know one thing: an animal companion. If it's true that they showed the wolf in the trailer and they made it hint like it was a companion, that's sick. That's already a plus because
Gotcha.
you already got your horse riding. That's cool. I mean, the only thing I can think of that you could refine Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yote is visual, music, make the game story make sense because I'm not sure how you're gonna do it, and add something new. I think it's time when you gotta risk it for the biscuit for one little something.
Oh yeah, and it always helps give a little push when the new hits. That's any new game to even sequels. You don't have nothing really new. It may bring the same amount of fan base, or it may bring nothing.
Yeah, like Last of Us. Last of Us was good. I love Last of Us Part Two. That may be a top five game for me. It's just the story hit at the right time when I played it at the moment of something in my life, I guess. In understanding perspective of two-sided people who actually just wanted the same thing at the end, sadly.
Yeah,
Um,
that's one game I've seen it all, so I know the story, but it's still a game I need to play.
you should play it. It's such a great game. I I don't want them to make a third one. I think they should just leave it as is. It's a good series by just two games.
I'll say it's a probably depending how two ended, and if they really can do anything story wise.
I mean, sure they could, but I wouldn't want them to. What about you? Nothing.
That's why I was sitting there looking
I
through my
always ask
D-list.
these questions, and
Yes.
you're like,
Well,
"No,
because
I can't do it."
well, no, I try to think on the spot. Um,
Well,
I can go with an added to a series story completed
okay.
that
What's
because you
up?
touched it and made me think a little bit with like Bioshock. Yes, the story has ended pretty much with how they finished Infinite. They could always make keep the feeling of it and branch and make a whole new storyline going with pretty much like a different area.
What about the other side of it? The other perspective?
Well, you could do that, but I'm thinking it's like,
Because I feel like that would be like a cool DLC.
yes, that'd be more like that could be more of a DLC thing, but that could go with what I'm thinking. Wherever you can have the feel, the environment, the way how it ran, and have it from some other event going on somewhere else that they knew, from like the first one, Fontaine, or they worked with him, or like an underground, like say an underground mafia type thing or whatever, that dealt with things that connected with the same universe, Bioshock, but wasn't in that underground city in the ocean.
Oh, like a completely
Yeah,
alternate universe.
well, it could be alternate, or because if you ever play Infinite, you'll see why there could be alternates, or it could just be in a whole nother area.
Ooh, I got another one that they haven't even touched for years.
Okay.
L.A. Noir.
Actually, I just saw on my list for two, and I was thinking I never fully
That
finished that
would
game.
be a game that the graphics look wouldn't be intense. It would be more.
Didn't they
Oh,
do a lot of things with Mafia that
yeah.
was like it?
I mean, it's by the same people.
I
Uh,
never played it fully, so
Mafia is good, but it also it it might be a tease. It might help them when they come out with the new Mafia game if that does well and it looks well, and it has, if I see if there's any similarities to LA Noir stuff in it, I feel like they could make a new LA Noir or another.
Ooh, I gotta look it up because there was another game that I played that I wish they would have made a sequel, and they because they had hell of a start on it.
Wait, Thief? Have they made a sequel to Thief or anything?
No, they have the VR thing coming out.
Eh, they
So
don't
it's
count.
going to be technically
Yeah, I
a
guess.
sequel,
Yeah, I guess.
but to me, that's not that because it's just VR. So it's like
Half Life. Could Half Life continue? I don't remember how Half Life 2 ended.
never played them, so can't tell you.
Man.
I always hear people talk about it. So where
Um,
is it? Game of something.
Ki-
Uh,
Kingdom Come Deliverance? That's Reckoning.
Kingdoms of Alamo, whatever Reckoning.
Yeah,
This had
that's.
so much potential to become a sequel. I'm making another one to continue it.
Well, that one they remastered, right? They remastered that.
I don't remember. It was a great. I loved it when it first came
I
out. I
played.
haven't played it in a long time.
I don't know what I. I played it very little on the 360, but then I gave up. I don't know why.
I did because I played it 360 as well, and I played through it all. Played the DLCs. I enjoyed my time, and I was like, okay, wonder when the second one's going to come out. And I don't know what happened, but it just died. There was nothing else to it. I don't know if they just couldn't think of nothing or whatever, or if it was just a one hit wonder type of, oops, we're throwing this out here and then we're going to work something else type deal.
See, that's what man, refining games is so important because you got to listen to the fan base, but also you kind of can't at the same time because you want to give the fans what they want, but also you want to surprise them with the new features or the new stuff. So, like for example, like I hate to say it, like Destiny 1 is just a masterpiece. It's just nostalgia, and then I don't get that feeling from Destiny 2. Not even this in the slightest. Maybe the first year of Destiny 2, but then after that, it was years until I was like, man, this game's so much fun, and that was like my the, the Witch Queen DLC, and then it just dropped off again, and then I was like, oh man, I felt like I was forced to like fire thing to finish the Light and Dark saga, and now like I want them to make a Destiny 3, but I don't have faith in them to refine something, especially with their business in Marathon and getting that destroyed.
Oh.
And
It's not going back down to ground level again.
yeah, it's like I don't have any faith, and I wish there was a game like that. And right now, I'm really enjoying Escape from Tarkov, but I'm playing PvE now.
Switch PvP may change that.
PvP will change that drastically. I don't know if I don't know how I would feel. Um, but though they're completely different games.
Yeah.
I want that. I want that consistent game that always has a DLC come out or a new season or something that it makes me come back and grind specific items and level up and new skills or something. Destiny was cool. It did that. It hit every note. And I feel like once PoE 2 gets to a point where it's I don't know, I want PoE 2 to do something like that. Because I did enjoy PoE 2 start. Just like I love Diablo 4 start. But then some of their seasons, like there was like a couple seasons that were really cool that they refined, and the new mechanic was cool, and the new like Uber bosses and stuff. Um, I don't know. Games like that are really hard to refine, and that's why I feel like Final Fantasy 14 does so well. It's because it's like it's the only online Final Fantasy game right now, and they keep adding stuff, and they have a lot.
They're doing good like Elder Scroll Online is.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like their time is due to make the new online.
I don't know. They can
Which
keep it
they
going.
might not. They might just call us. It might be the one day you wake up, it's not Final Fantasy 14 online. It's just Final Fantasy Online, like how World of Warcraft.
Yeah, they should have just named it that. And
Everything should be just called that. If you're gonna have an online service game, it should just be a one title game. And like Destiny 1 and 2, they're both online. They're still on servers. You should just have drop one or the other. For example, you should just make your next Destiny game just called Destiny. And you have everything refined, like the D1 DLCs, D2 DLCs, bring back the Red War, bring back don't bring back all the exotic guns. Wish those away. Same with the exotic stuff. Make it hard as crap to buy or get. Exotic missions, hard to do. Raids, just refine it all. I swear to you, you make everybody happy. Done ranting over Destiny. Because I missed a game. I do truly miss it. And like today is a raid day. The DLC that just came out. And I ain't got a clue what's going on. Kind of feels good because it's kind of like exciting seeing people like trying to figure out how to beat the encounter, how to work the encounter, how to move on to the next encounters.
now you can watch them do that and instead play RuneScape. Yeah.
No, I ain't got time to play RuneScape. You know how much time you have to be devoted in. We're talking about old school, right?
Yes, and there's a few people that will do it while streaming still, because there's a number of things that you can click and just it'll do it until your inventory is full, like fishing or whatever.
No, I
So
ain't got that.
a lot of them do that while we're on the side or whatever, and keep their characters up or do whatever. I don't know. I lost out touch of that years ago.
I'm not. I feel like you're trying to put. You lately have been trying to push me to play old school RuneScape. Is that what you're wanting me to do?
And watch you suffer? Yes. No.
I don't think I would suffer. I just feel like
It does take a lot of time. You gotta devote
I
time
just
into
don't
it.
think I don't I don't think I could do it this day and age.
I don't even know what all they've added. They're doing something because they're still going.
I just I do like I just want specific games that I feel like that I can enjoy and grind and just be up to date in a timely fashion, but also have time to play other games.
Yeah, good luck on that one.
I know it sucks because some of them land in certain times. Like I'm giving up playing Gears of War Reloaded just because it's basically a remaster. The online is just Gears of One Online. I hated Gears of One Online. I'm gonna be absolute ass, so I'm not even gonna waste my time. I'm just gonna go ahead and play PoE 2 new season. That I'm actually excited for.
Until you get to maps and you're bored, and then it's me solo again.
Yep, because I feel
It's,
like that's just to me. It's just that's there's a fine point for me in
you gotta work and grind to get to the Uber bosses.
what am I gonna do after that? Like
You
there's
could be
like
done after that. Like you really, I beat all the bosses. I'm done.
you know
I think
I'm I'm not the hardcore player. I'm the softcore.
eh,
Nothing's wrong with that.
no.
I don't know.
But
Maybe
that comes with a lot of any online game. If you've got to put time into it, whether it's something that's in seasons or something that's like Final Fantasy or Elder Scroll, you got to put the time into it to really get it going.
right.
So
Well, I think that wraps up our talk about refined games and how companies suck and what they need to do better and to squeeze the daylights out of every soul that is on this world. Um, if you like this, you like this episode, you enjoy what we talk about, follow us on our Twitch channels. It'll be below description of the YouTube stream. Just follow Haviland, Azrael. Join the Discord. Give us ideas on topics. Just push the algorithm. I beg of you. Hope you guys have a good day. See you.
Goodbye.